Good afternoon, StreamYard and YouTube watchers. This is Philip Reynolds, and I am giving you game 3 of the 69 Reds versus the 41 Yankees. Leading off for the Reds today is Rose. He's in right field. Second is Helms. He's at second. Perez is at third, batting third. Bench is fourth, and he's catching. Tolan's in center field. He's batting fifth. Cheney's at short, and he's batting sixth. Seventh is Whitfield, and he's at first. And batting eighth is Jimmy Stewart. And our pitcher for today is Clay Carroll. And I will give the Yankees lineup when we get to the Yankees part of the first. Okay. So let me change mics here. Cameras here. Okay, we have Pete Rose leading off. Let me see if I can get that a little bit clearer. No, that's the wrong way. There we go. Pete Rose, and we will. Let's see what I do with the dice. Here it is. Let's see. Here. We've got 3 and we've got 3-5, and Gomez is a left-handed pitcher, so Rose will be batting right-handed. So a 3-5. That's a single to left field. Okay, let's see how he is at running. Would be 1-16. So we'll just go on to the next batter. Helms up second here. Four, 6, 16. We'll be looking at Gomez's card. Helms is. Let me see here. He's a right-handed hitter. So a 4-6 will be a walk. So we have 2 on. That will bring Perez up. And that is a 3-7 against the left-handed. 3-7 is a single, be a single, and runners advance 2 bases, which means Rose will score, Helms will go to third, and Perez will be at first. Okay. So here we have runners at the corners with bench due up. And nobody out. Right. It's a 6-8-9. And bench bats right. That's a ground ball, shortstop A. That will be a double play. So that will be 4, 3, 6, 4. So that leaves a runner at third. That leaves a runner at third. And Tolan is up. Okay. Left-handed batter. That is a 6-8. That's a fly ball, center field B. And that will be, because it's a second out, that means since that's the third out, that will be the end of the inning. Oh, wrong camera. So at the end of the first inning, the end of the top of the first, the Reds are winning 1-0. Managed to score 1 run. So we will see what happens in the Yankees part of the first here. Okay, we have Phil Rizzuto up. And Carroll is a right-handed pitcher. So a 3-6. And Phil Rizzuto strikes out. Rolf. Okay. The 3-6. And that is 1 to. We've got a 2 on the 20-sided dice, which means this will be a single. So with that, the Yankees have a runner at first base, and we go to Charlie Keller. What is it, 6'7"? We'll look at. Okay, he's a left-hand. Oh, we're looking at. No, we are looking at Carroll's card. Sorry. And a 6'7", and he's a left-handed batter. 6'7". That is a ground ball. Second baseman X. So we will test the second baseman, and that will be Helms here, and he is a 2 with a 13, and that will be an out. And the runner holds. So with Charlie Keller, that is an out by the second baseman. Or 3. Brings up Joe DiMaggio with 2 outs and a runner on. Six, 7. Let's see here. And he is a right-handed batter. That's a ground ball to the second baseman. And we have an 8 here. So that will be an out. So that is he makes the third out of the inning. So that is another 4-3. And at the end of the first, it's the Reds. It's the Reds 1. And the Yankees nothing. We've got the shortstop, Daryl Cheney, up. And let us go to the cards. All right. And that is a 5-5 with a 19 on the 20-sided dice. So this Cheney is a switch hitter, and since Gomez throws left, he will be considered a right-handed hitter. So 5-8 is a walk. So Cheney walks. We'll bring up Fred Whitfield. Four, 8. And that goes to Gomez's card. Throws left. Left-handed hitter, 4-8. That is a single. And Cheney will go to third on this. And that brings up Jimmy Stewart. Let's see here. There's no outs. We're gonna hit and run in this situation. And that is an 8. Ground out to first base. Runners advance 1 base. So Stewart grounds out to first baseman, but the runners advance 1 base, which means Cheney at third will score. Okay, we have a man at second. And we have Clay Carroll up at the plate. And Clay Carroll's going to sacrifice, try to bunt the guy over to third. That will be a 7. Batter is thrown out by first baseman. Runners advance 1 base. So that puts Whitfield at third. And that puts Rose up to the plate with 2 outs. Okay, we're looking at, he's a right-handed batter. So a 4-8 with a 1-8 is a single. So he gets a single and the runner will score. So Whitfield will score. And that, with that sacrifice, that was, with that single by Rose, that put the Reds up 3-0 in the second here. And Helms will come up with 2 outs. Tommy Helms is coming up with 2 outs here. All right. That is a 2, 6, and an 8. Left-handed. Oh. Shoot. I know it was an 8. So we're looking at a 2, 7, and an 8. Tommy Helms is a left-handed pitcher, 2, 7, and that will also be a single, and the runners will go 1. So Rose goes to second. That brings up Tony Perez. Two, and versus a left-handed pitcher. It's a ground ball A, and that will be an out by recorded by the second baseman. So 4-3. Okay. And at the end of 2, meaning at the end of the top of the second, going into the bottom of the second, the Reds are winning 3-0 here. And Bill Dickey is going to try to change that for the Yankees. So Bill Dickey is up for the Yankees. Uh, 2-7, and that says fly ball center field B. It says batter is out, so the batter will be out. So Dickey will be out by the center fielder. That will bring Johnny Strum to the plate. And that is a 1, 6, and a 6. So that will be a ground ball to the pitcher in B, which means the batter is out. So that will be 1-3. Brings up Joe Gordon. And 4-7. Joe Gordon's a right-handed batter. And that will be a ground ball to the third baseman. And that's because the split here, we got a 5. If we would have had a 4, if we would have had a 1-3, it would have been a single, but this is a ground ball to the third baseman. Okay. That brings up Tommy Henrik. Three, 5, 3, 5, and a 10. 3. Sorry. 3, 10. 3, 10. And that, my friends, is Heinrich just got a home run. First home run of the game. And that will bring up the pitcher. The pitcher is using hitting card number 2. And a 5-10 will be a fly ball to the left fielder. So the Yankees managed to get one run back in the bottom of the second via Heinrich's home run, and as a result, the score is 3-1 Reds. And we're going to the third. Bench is our batter. Let's see. When he bats right, 5-11. That will be a single to right field. Brings up Tolan. And that is a 5-8. And Tolan's a left-handed batter. 5-8. And that will be a walk. So Tolan walks. Bringing Bench to second. Cheney is up. And that will be a 3-8 for Cheney. He bats right. He's batting right in this situation, but the pitcher is left. And that will be a strikeout. That is the first strikeout of that's the first out of the inning. Takes us to Fred Whitfield. Yep. All right, Fred Whitfield. 3-5. And that also is a strikeout. 2 strikeouts in a row for Gomez. Brings up Stewart to the plate. Six, and he will be batting right-handed because Gomez is left. So a 6-9, and wow, 1-7. It is a triple, and an 8-20 is a single with runners going 2 bases, but we've got a 6, so that is a triple. So Stewart gets a triple out of this and 2-run score. With Stewart's triple, we now have a 5-1 lead by the Reds. Uh, um, Yeah, hmm. I don't have a, I myself don't have um, a dice tower or whatever, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I'm trying to get the cards, and I'm trying to on very important rolls show the actual rolls of the dice here. Um, and right now, um, Clay Carroll's up with, we got Jimmy Stewart at third. Clay Carroll is up. And he's using the number 7 batting card here. So we have a 3, 9, and a 15. And that will be a ground ball to the shortstop. And batter is out. Batter will be considered out at first. Um, okay. Sure, everything is okay. So Phil Rizzuto, Red Rolf, and Keller will be our batters in the bottom of the third. At the in the middle of the third inning, the score is 5-1 in favor of the Reds. This is the most that they've had in any game, I believe, so far. Yeah. So we're going to the bottom of the third here. Okay. We have a 5, 7, and 16. Phil Rizzuto bats right. 5, 7, and that will be a strikeout for Carroll. Brings up Red Rolf. We have a 3, 4, and a 14. And that will be a ground ball to the third baseman. And that will be an out. Brings up Charlie Keller. Charlie Keller rolls a 4, 7, and an 11. Left-handed batter. 4, 7. That will be a walk. Charlie Keller walks. Oh. And that is not a very good time for a walk because Joe DiMaggio is up. And let's see what DiMaggio gets here. That is a 2, 6, and a 9. And Carroll's a right-handed pitcher. 2, 6, and that will be a double to center field. Okay. Let me see here. Keller is a 1 to 15. And being behind as they're not going to risk trying to send him home. So that will bring up Dickey. We got a 5, 6, and a 12. And left-handed batter, 5, 6, and a 12 here will be a single. So Dickey gets a single, but both those runners will score because it's 2 stars. So that will bring the score to 5 to 3 in favor of the Reds. Dickey's single scored both those runs because it was two stars, which meant those men at second and third both could score. So that brings up Johnny Strum for the Yankees. It's Sturm. And there are 2 out. So let's see. He's gonna roll. See what goes on here. And that will be a 1-8. 1-8 with a 6. And that will be a single. Okay. I will bring up Joe Gordon. And that will be a 3-10. That will be a fly ball to left field B, and that will be our 3rd out of the inning. So the Yankees managed to tack on 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, but the Reds are still up 5 to 3, and we are going to the top. We're going to the top of the inning. In the In the fourth here, Rose has 2 singles in this game so far. Okay. And let's go to the top of the fourth. I'm going to have to re-roll that because the 20-sided dice was stuck in the corner. And that will be a 1, 9, and a 6. He's a left-handed pitcher. One, 6. He's a left-handed pitcher, but so that means that will be a ground ball to the second baseman, so he will be out. That puts Tommy Helms up to the plate. We have a 1, a 4, and a 10. And that will be a line out to the first baseman. So that's an out. It brings up Tony Perez. Okay. And that will be a 5, a 3, and a 12. And right-handed batter, 5. And that will be a fly out to the left fielder. And the left fielder in this case is Keller, and he has a 2. And 2 and a 12, and that is an out. So the Reds go 3 up, and 3 down in the fourth, and that's the first time they've been stopped. As far as that's the first time the Yankees have been able to have a 1-2-3 inning with the Reds. So due up in the bottom of the fourth is Heinrich, Gomez, and Rizzuto. And who knows if anybody gets a hit after that. So Heinrich. He hits. Oh. Change my mic. Wrong camera. And that is a 5, and a 4. Heinrich bats left. And a 5 and a 5 is okay. That is a 4. A normal power person So left-handed, normal power person. We're looking in the second column there. 5-5, and that means Heinrich gets a home run. For the second time today, Heinrich has hit a home run and brought the Yankees within one. Gomez is using card number 2. We have a 6, 7, and an 18. And that will be a ground ball to the shortstop. Okay. Shortstop here is Cheney, and he has a 3. 318. And that's roll the 20-side dice again. We have a 6 this time. And that will be an out. Okay. And that will bring Rizzuto up to the plate. I don't know. Brings Rizzuto up to the plate. We have a 6, 7, and a 2. Rizzuto's a right-handed batter. 6, 7. That will be a ground ball to the second baseman, X. So we're looking at Helms here, and that's a 2. 2 and a 2. And that will actually be a single. So Rizzuto will get a single here. Red Rolf. We have a 2, 6, and a 15. Left-handed pitcher, left-handed hitter. So 2, 6, and that's a 15. That will be a fly ball to left field. So runner holds. That puts 2 away. That puts Charlie Keller at the plate. And that is a 3, 3, 9, and that is a strikeout. And so after 4, we're looking at a score of 5-4 in favor of the Reds. 2 of the runs have been for the Yankees have been Heinrich home runs. Every time that he's come to the plate so far, he's homered. So we go to the top of the 5th for the Reds. Johnny Bench is up at the plate. We have a 5, 8, and 15. Bench 5, 8, and that will be a walk. So Bench walks, and that will bring up Perez. Oh, I'm sorry, that will bring up Tolan. Bench walks. Tolan is up. We have a 6, 7, and believe it or not, that is a 7 because that's the top number. 7's the top number. So he's a left-handed batter. 6, 7, that's a ground ball to the second baseman. And that will be Gordon, and he is a 1. 1, 7, that will be an out. And it says runner on first is out, going to second, completion of a double play. So okay. We'll bring up Cheney with 2 outs. We have a 6, 6, and a 4. And we're looking at the right-handed batter column here. 6, 6, that's a ground ball to the shortstop A. So that will be a 4-3, and that will be another kind of 3 up and 3 down scenario for the Reds, even though Bench was walked. So that'll be 2 innings in a row where we have 3 up and 3 down. So going into the bottom of the 5th, it's still 5-4 in favor of the Reds. We got DiMaggio, we got Dickey, and we got Strum Sturm up for the Yankees. Okay, here. All right, and we will check and see how DiMaggio does. He's our first batter of the bottom of the fifth. And that will be a 4-10. That's a 5 ball to the center fielder X. And the center fielder in this case is Tolan, and he is a 3. A 3 and a 4 is an out. So DiMaggio is out. We bring up Dickey to the plate. And that is a 5, 9, and a 10. And he's a left-handed batter. 5, 9, and that will be a strikeout. Dickey strikes out. I will bring up Sturm. And that is a 1, 7, and a 4. And that is a fly ball to center field. So 3 up and 3 down go the Yankees in the fifth. Yankees go 3 up and 3 down. Center fielder caught 2 balls there, and there was 1 strikeout. So that takes us to the 6th inning, 5-4 Reds. And we have Whitfield, Stewart, and Carroll up to the plate. And I want to check something out here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We go to Fred Whitfield, top of the 6th. And that is a 2, 9, and a 5. Fred Whitfield, left-handed pitcher, and that will be a strikeout. Brings up Stewart. And that is a 3, 6, and a 5. And he's batting right-handed here. And that will be a ground ball to the pitcher. That will be a 1, 3. And that will bring up Carroll to the plate. And In this situation, because I can, and because I have my own card, I'm putting myself in as the pinch hitter. Let's see what we get here. And that will be 4, 8, and an 18. Right-handed batter. 4, 8. And that will be a line out to the third baseman. I'll go 5. Go 5, 3. Okay. And let's see what the Reds will do here. Reds are going to bring in Granger to pitch instead of Carroll. And they're also they're going to leave me in and take out Jimmy Stewart. So I will be in left field. I will stay in left field. Okay. And that puts Gordon up for the. That puts Gordon in for the Yankees. That means that in the bottom of the 6 here, we have Gordon, Heinrich, and Gomez. And top of the order after that, if there is a hit. So we go to the bottom of the 6 with Gordon up at the plate. We have a 1, 5, and a 7. And Granger is right-handed. 1, 5. And that will be a single to center field. And that brings up Tommy Heinrich, the only guy that's gotten home runs today. We have a 5, 8, and a 7. And that will be a ground ball to the second baseman. And that will be Tommy Helms. And he is a 2, so 2, 7. And that will be an out. Oh, wait a minute. That's right, he hit a single. And that's a double play, so that's 6, 4, 3. And that will bring Gomez up. We have a 2, 6, and a 4. And that will be a strikeout for Gomez. Okay. Going to the top of the 7th, the score is still 5-4. The Reds had 1 run it came in the first, 2 runs came in the second, and 2 runs came in the third. That's their 5 runs. The Yankees had a home run by Heinrich in the second. 2 runs came in the third, and Heinrich homered in the fourth, and that's where we stand, 5-4. We're in the 7th, and Rose is up to the plate. We have we have a 4, 8, and a 1. And on Gomez's card, he is a right-handed batter. A 4, 8. And that will be a single because the 20-sided dice is a 1. So that will be a single by Rose. Brings up Tommy Helms. And that is a 2, 5, and a 4. And that will be a ground ball to the third baseman A. Let's see. Runner on first is out. Okay, let me see that. 2-5. Third base, A. Okay. So this will be a double play ball here. And that's what I figured it was. Okay. And that brings Perez up to the plate. We have a 1, 9, and a 5. Gomez is a left-handed pitcher. 1, 9. And as you can see right there, it says 1 to 17 is a home run. And we have a 5, so Perez just got a home run. And that will bring up bench. That is a 5, 8, and a 7. Right under 5, 8. And that means bench is walked. Brings up Tolan. We have a 2, 9, and 16. And that will be a ground ball to the second baseman. And that takes us to the 7th inning stretch, guys. So with with Perez's home run in the top of the 7th, that now makes the score 6-4 in favor of the Reds. The Reds are winning 6-4 here. And give me a second. I'm gonna get something to drink, and I'll be back. Mm-hmm. We are in the bottom of the 7th. It is a 6-4 game. The Reds are winning. And for the Yankees, we have the top of the order: Rizzuto, Rolfe, and Keller. If somebody gets on, we'll go further than that, but that's the intended lineup here. Rizzuto gets a 3, 6, and an 18. With Granger being a right-handed pitcher. 3, 6, and that will be a strikeout. Rizzuto strikes out. Rolf. And that will be a 2, 9. No, that's a 2, 9, and an 18. 2, 9 is a single to right field. So Rolf will get on with a single. Brings up Keller. The 1, 9, and a 7. See, right-handed pitcher, 1, 9. It's a fly ball to right field. Okay, so the runner will hold here. That will bring up Joe DiMaggio. Brings up DiMaggio. And that is a 4, 7, and 5. And he is right-handed batter, 4, 7. And the great DiMaggio strikes out. And that will be the end of the 7th. With that will bring up Dickey at the bottom of the 8th. Okay. So in this in the top of the 8th, we have Cheney, Whitfield, and instead of Stewart, it'll be Reynolds. And then the pitcher, if we get that far. 5, 5, and 4 for Cheney. And Gomez is still the pitcher. And he is a right-handed batter in this situation. So 5, 5, and that will be a strikeout. Cheney struck out. Brings up Whitfield. And that is a 4, 8, and an 8. 4, and he's left-handed batter. 4, 8, and that will be a single. So Fred Whitfield gets a single. That will bring up Reynolds for his second at-bat of the game. See if he can get something going here. We have a 4, 3, and a 9. Gomez's card, a 4, 3. He's a right-handed batter, 4, 3. That will be a ground ball to the pitcher. So and one runner is forced. So that will be 1, 4, 3. And 1 to 4 there. So that will be the end of the top of the. That's the end of the top of the 8th. No runs scored. And in the bottom, we got Dickey, we got Sturm, and we got Gordon. Okay. Okay. We're in the bottom of the 8th here. Dickey is up. We got a 6, 11, and a 14. Left-handed batter. And that will be a fly ball to left field B. So the batter is out. So that's a fly out. That brings up Sturm. And that is a 5, 11, 3. And that will be a ground ball to the first baseman. Wait a minute. He's a left-handed batter. Still the same. Ground ball to the first baseman. That brings up Gordon. Four, 7, and 14. Four, 7, and that will be a strikeout. Gordon strikes out. And that takes us to the top of the 9th. And Granger is due up. But Granger's due up, but he is not going to bat. Instead, we're going to bring Lee May to the plate for the Reds. He will pitch hit. Okay. Let's see what we get here. Okay, we got a 6-9 and an 18. 6-9, 18 will be a single. So Lime gets a single here. Which will bring up Rose. Oh, I have to re-roll that. Got a 4, 8, and a 20 by Rose. And he's batting right. 4, 8. And that will be a line out to the third baseman. Okay. Third base. I guess that means it does not say anything about the runner not going to the second, so and that is Rose. So we're gonna that'd be 5-3, and that's your one out. And I'm assuming because of that, Lee May goes to second. So we have a runner at second here. Rose out, and Tommy Helms is at the plate. And that is a 4, 12, and a 1. That's a ground ball to the first baseman, X. That'll be Sturm, and he is a 2. Two and a 1. Well, that'll be a single. So that's a single for Helms. So we will have men at first and third here. And that will bring up Perez. First and third, Perez is up. And Perez had a home run the last time he was up. So let's see what happens here. We've got a 2, a 3, and a 4. And Gomez is a left-handed pitcher. 2-3. That will be a ground ball to the second baseman, A. So that will basically be and that means that the inning will be top half of the ninth will be over. And we have Heinrich, Gomez, and Rizzuto up. And we need to take a look at the Reds bullpen to see who we are using as a relief pitcher here. We'll bring in Jim Merritt here. Okay. Heinrich has had 2 home runs today. So let's see what happens here. And that is a 1, 5, and a 3. And that is a left-handed pitcher. And that will be a walk. So Heinrich walks. And let's see. Shoot. That's pitching card that we need to find. Here we go. So, shoot. Oh, here they are. We're going to bring in George Selkirk as the batter here. So George Selkirk will be the batter here for the Yankees. And that is a 4, 10, and a 16 off of Merritt's card. And he's left-handed batter. 4, 10, and that's a catcher X. And we're checking bench here. Bench is a 1 on a 16. That says wild pitch 1 followed by a foul out. Okay, so that means that Heinrich goes to second. So I guess that's a foul out to the catcher there. And that will bring up Phil Rizzuto to the plate. 1 away. A 1, 10, and a 17. And Merritt throws left. So 110, that will be a pop out to the shortstop. And that brings up Red Rolf. Last batter, possibly. And that is a 1, 5, and a 10. Merritt is a left-handed pitcher, 1, 5, and that will be a walk. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Reds will bring in Culver now to try to clean this up. Keller's at the plate. 2, 5, and that is a 1. And Culver is a right-handed pitcher. 2, 5, and that will be a single, and everybody advances 1 base. Oh, jeez. Reds will bring it Arigio. With Keller at the plate. And the base is loaded. And 2 outs. That is a 4, 11, and a 9. Okay, 4, 11. Arigio is a left-handed, and he's a left-handed. 4, 11. That will be a single to right field. And so that means the man at third. Okay. Brings Heinrich home. And the game is 6-5. And DiMaggio is up with the bases loaded. And let's see, what can they do? Let's see. They will bring in Jackson. That's the fourth pitcher for this round. The bases are loaded. DiMaggio is up. And that is a 2, 7, and a 9. And a left-handed pitcher. 7. That will be a ground ball to the second baseman. And that will be the end of the game. That was a close one, guys, but the Reds win 6-5 in this one. Got one run by the Reds in the first. You got 2 runs in the second by the Reds to make it 3-0. You got 2 more runs in the third to make it 5-0. You got a run in the bottom of the second, and that made it 3-1. And then in the third, you got 2 runs by the Yankees. That made it 5-3. You made it 5-4 with Heinrich's home run in the fourth. And Perez made it 6-4 in the 6-4 in the top of the seventh, and then Keller drove in a run, which was Heinrich, in the bottom of the ninth to make it 6-5, but it wasn't enough to take it to extras or to score another man. So the Reds actually won this one 6-5. It's another one fiasco, but this time the Reds won. So far in my 3 games, the home team has not won a game yet. And I'm not sure if I'll do it today or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow we'll have the final game 4 of this. And let me see something here. And no. So in the last game, DiMaggio had 1 hit and Rose had nothing. So this time Rose had 2 singles and DiMaggio, he scored, but so that means that he had a double, so he scored. So he had 1 hit. So basically, both of them have a 1-game hitting streak going on here. So they haven't really strung together many hits, DiMaggio and Rose. So we'll see if they're one of them can get some more hits to probably tomorrow. So I hope you liked this one, enjoyed this one. It was a close one, 6-5. The Yankees tried to come back in the bottom of the ninth, but it wasn't happening. So this one belongs to the Reds. Take care, guys.